Joy Behar calls her a 10. I mean, how dare she objectify a woman with a sexist rating system, but it's such a typical thing from a 1.5.
Well said.
The motives stink worse than Joy Behar's jog bra. I mean, assuming she jogs. Oh, wait, there she is. She has a point. Maybe I am obsessed, but some people are obsessed with Bigfoot, and they don't get to see him on TV every afternoon. And if they did, could they tell the two apart? I don't know.
Greg didn't need to shout. He just smirked, and the message landed harder than any loud rant could. With one sarcastic jab after another, he flipped Joy's trademark smugness into something that looked a lot like a full-blown identity crisis. Then there was Tyrus, cool, calm, unbothered. Barely reacting, just tossing out brutal one-liners like he was playing a game of reputation darts. The vibe wasn't playful. It was surgical. This wasn't friendly banter, it was a comedic execution in real time.
It's not even that. In The View, you don't need to find Trumpers. You need to fire your race baiters.
Yeah.
You need to fire the two races. You've had people. You had a McCain on there. You've had people on there before, and you ran them off. So the racist ones who want to stick to this, Whoopi and Sonny, and the was it Bette Midler? What's her name? Yeah, broke-ass Bette Midler. Fire them and bring people in. Maybe you could get McCain to come back. She was a Republican, but every show and every break, she was nearly in tears because she was being attacked.
Right there on live TV, Tyrus didn't raise his voice once. He just dropped truth bombs that hit like bricks. And Gutfeld? His jabs were so precise, they didn't just sting, they cut clean through Joy's decades-long persona of self-importance. Let's be honest, Joy's been sitting comfortably in her daytime TV bubble for way too long, untouchable in her echo chamber. But this was the ambush no one saw coming. And it didn't come with yelling or cancel culture outrage, it came wrapped in perfectly timed comedy, firing shots that didn't scream. They revealed. Gutfeld sliced through her act like he'd been rehearsing it in a satire dojo. Meanwhile, Tyrus watched her unravel from a distance, sipping on her discomfort like it was espresso. Suddenly, the laughter stopped. Joy wasn't the one delivering the punchlines anymore. And when the room stops clapping with you, that throne starts shaking fast. This wasn't a debate. It was televised demolition. She didn't even have to be in the room, that's what made it hit harder.
This week, Joy Behar accused Elon Musk of being pro-apartheid, but then begged him afterwards not to sue. Musk lawyers have yet to comment because they're still checking to see if it's legal to sue a cow.
Shots fired.
Just a legal question. I don't know why it's so upsetting. I don't make the rules in this country.
Greg Gutfeld didn't even have to say her name. He painted the picture so clearly, everyone knew who he meant. The loud, self-absorbed daytime host preaching from her studio throne, cocktail in hand, pretending to speak for the people while being completely out of touch with them. Sound familiar? If that's not Joy Behar, then gravity's a myth. Gutfeld didn't yell, he delivered punchlines like surgical strikes. Every joke was a quiet mic drop. And then came Tyrus, playing cleanup like a cold, comedic closer. No theatrics, just a deadpan stare into the camera, like he was asking America, "You're really still listening to this?" His silence said more than a monologue ever could. While Joy rambled to a clapping crowd trained like seals, Gutfeld and Tyrus dismantled her entire performance without ever inviting her to respond. This wasn't shade. It was a calculated strike. A comedic takedown masked as satire, brick by brick, exposing the illusion she's been selling for years.
Out of some news, the feral monsters of The View say they've never heard of you-know-who. True, the show that makes mornings hell claim that my name doesn't ring a bell. It's time for...
Our view on The View. Ugh.
Yeah, the witch's coven finally shows me some lovin'. Yesterday on The View, yours truly was the subject of conversation. Apparently, the broads have no idea who I am, or so they say. Hit it, Glenn.
By the end of it, Joy wasn't trending because she said something. She was trending because two guys laughed her into irrelevance, and she wasn't even watching. Somehow, she became the main character without even being on screen. Let's break it down. Joy Behar's career is a highlight reel of off-target hot takes, exaggerated outrage, and opinions so disconnected from reality, they feel like outtakes from a parody. She's that person at a dinner party who hijacks every conversation, rattles off mispronounced countries, and expects applause just for talking. And that's where Gutfeld flipped the script. He didn't argue. He didn't go toe-to-toe. He just laughed, cool, calm, and deadly accurate. No yelling. No grandstanding. Just clean-cut comedy that disassembled her persona one joke at a time. He didn't need a fight. He came with a wrecking ball disguised as a grin. And Joy? She still thinks she's the star of the show, like a band leader on a sinking ship. The water's rising, everyone else bailed, and she's still conducting like it's opening night. Gutfeld and Tyrus didn't confront her. They let reality do the heavy lifting, they just turned the camera on.
Gutfeld talks about you all the time.
Who is he? Really, who is he?
I don't watch the show.
He has a show.
I don't watch the
never
show.
heard of him.
Yeah.
I guess he's just obsessed with me.
No. Next, Joy's going to say she's never heard of carbs. Seriously, her denial of knowing me is as believable as her red hair. But obsession? I mean, come on, Joy. Where would you even get that idea? Like Joy Behar's face, it's looking worse and worse by the day. More full of crap than Joy Behar after a night of scotch and Taco Bell. Her being named Joy is like me being named ugly. Joy wasn't there on the show. Apparently Mondays are her days off when she feeds in the pasture. It now smells like a humid day inside Joy Behar's.
And that mess they exposed? It's called The View. Once a panel for daytime discussion, it's now a full-on circus of performative drama. It's no longer conversation, it's chaos theater. Debates have turned into live-action Twitter threads with hosts competing for the most dramatic eye roll or wildest outburst. Facts. Optional. Feelings. Mandatory. Gutfeld, meanwhile, watches it all like he's observing a reality show from a rooftop with his coffee. Then, casually, he drops a comedy grenade, no drama, just facts wrapped in funny, and obliterates the illusion that The View has any real moral high ground left. He's not just poking at Joy. He's dismantling the entire performance. No props. No yelling. Just sarcasm, smirks, and pauses that say more than 1,000 rants. Tyrus? He's the silent assassin. Joy needs a full production team to land a point. Tyrus hits you with a half-sentence that hangs in the air like a truth bomb. The verdict? Joy's act expired 3 scandals ago. Watching her demand to be taken seriously while acting like a sketch character. That's comedy in itself.
Oh, this is what elitists do who can't, like, if you don't know who someone is, how did you know to automatically hate him? Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, that's how fake and full of she is. Gutfeld, never heard of him. Don't like him. Why? Because why? That's why I just turned to one of my kids. Because why?
Yeah.
Because I don't know who he is. Never heard of him at all in my entire life. But why? Because I don't know. Because they are the last TV show to talk about high turnover. Mm-hmm. We've been rolling 3 steady for a long time.
Yeah.
We don't take breaks in the commercial to get away from each other. Well, that's what the drinking's for.
Yes.
Megan McCain, how'd that go?
Yeah.
Rosie O'Donnell, or any of these previous fellow employees? Because one of the things they said was that no one walks away from money. Right?
Yeah.
So they got people running away from it.
Joy talks like a professor but fumbles facts like someone who failed high school civics. She brings the volume of a foghorn, the subtlety of a marching band, and the accuracy of a busted compass. Her applause? It doesn't come from clever insight. It comes from fans clapping out of loyalty, not laughter. Meanwhile, Gutfeld and Tyrus are operating in a different universe, where real laughs live. The kind you can't script. The kind that sneaks up and slaps you with truth. Joy needs a teleprompter. Gutfeld just needs a mic. She's been swimming in applause so long, she's confused it for respect. She thinks the cheers mean she's right, untouchable. But Greg? He didn't storm her stage. He stood back, cool and calm, while she waved from her imaginary balcony, convinced she was still queen of the court.
The problem is that you have to go after the racist people, and if the CEO goes, you know what, I'm not going to allow a woman on my show, or man, that will go after white America and talk about them like dogs. That doesn't represent our ideals or values for anyone. And get rid of those people, and this will clear up real quick. So do you have to actually look in the mirror and clean up your own backyard and get the racist people out? Because that's who you allowed in. You allowed black racist on TV who could just go all day and say anything about white people. And I guess lo and behold, they forgot that there's a lot of people at home, white people at home during the day, that are not watching your show anymore. So just clean it up.
Yeah, you know.
And Tyrus? He didn't need a monologue. Just one look. That silent stare that said, wait, you actually believe that? Then he turned and walked off. No mic drop, just brutal silence. That silence? It said more than any insult could. Because you can't beat satire with fake sincerity. You can't cancel irony with outrage. Joy's built a career on emotional theater, but Gutfeld slips right past it with sharp logic and absurd humor. The truth is, Joy could walk away, evolve, step back. But she won't. Why? Because being right, even when wrong, is addictive on TV. And applause? That's her drug of choice. That's the real target here, not Joy the person, but Joy the character. The brand. The persona crafted for the cameras. Gutfeld didn't just fire off jokes, he delivered a comedic takedown of an entire genre of moral posturing. And when the audience laughed, it wasn't because it was outrageous, it was because it was spot on. He never even had to name her. Everyone knew. It was like roasting the emperor without saying a word about the clothes. Everyone saw it. Everyone laughed. That's what made it land.
It's about the view. It's become like a medical hospital that displays human misfailure. Like it's like here, let's look at this political oddity. You know, it's like it really is like the left-wing equivalent of a carnival sideshow, except instead of bearded ladies and fat clowns and two-headed cows. Well, let me rephrase that. But The View is a victim of the sunk cost fallacy. You know, how can you now speak the truth and when for years you've been telling lie after lie after lie? Now you're carrying this big bag of rocks around you because it's too harmful for their ego to admit that we really were dishonest. And they could be honest. All they would have to say is, look, we hate Trump so much. We were willing to lie about Joe Biden because we felt he was preferable. We thought our lying and our cover-up was on your behalf. Just say that. You're still scum, but at least you're an honest scum.
And for the finishing blow? Tyrus just looked at the camera. No speech. No follow-up. Just a calm, blank stare that said, this is what we're doing now. That expression hit harder than any rant ever could. Whatever shred of self-awareness was left in Joy's cue cards probably melted on the spot. Honestly, this takedown was long overdue. Someone finally roasted The View without even stepping foot on that overhyped set. The show's become less talk, more live-action satire, just with matching mugs and forced applause. And what's wild? Gutfeld and Tyrus weren't even there. They're off doing a sharper, funnier version of the same thing. No scripts, no pre-planned applause. Just truth with bite. While Joy's over here delivering speeches like she's defending the Constitution, Gutfeld shows up like a guy who walked into the wrong party, uncomfortable, hilarious, and brutally real. Because here's the deal, no one wants to be scolded by someone who treats disagreement like a disease. Joy talks at people. Gutfeld laughs with them. This wasn't just a takedown of Joy Behar, it was a takedown of the entire machine propping her up. The formula. The fake outrage. The staged insight. Greg didn't need to shout. He just smirked, and the message landed harder than any loud rant could. With one sarcastic jab after another, he flipped Joy's trademark smugness into something that looked a lot like a full-blown identity crisis. Then there was Tyrus, cool, calm, unbothered. Barely reacting, just tossing out brutal one-liners like he was playing a game of reputation darts. The vibe wasn't playful. It was surgical. This wasn't friendly banter, it was a comedic execution in real time.